Rec Room just shrunk their team down by 16%. We have a new weekly rotation that came out with its own official weekly rotation image for UGC items, and I hit a pretty big milestone inside of Rec Room. It is a whole slurry of emotions in today's news video, so let's get into it. Now I'm going to pop this pimple now, and I'm going to talk about the bad news before we get into the good news of today's video. Rec Room as a community just got a message from Nick Fahit, the actual founder of Rec Room. Posted on March 3rd, 2025, we have a Rec Room update. Rec Room is sharing the message that they shared with their team today. The only change is a small redaction on proprietary projects in development. Nick Fahit goes on to say, I have some sad news. Today I made the difficult decision to reduce the size of our team by 16%. That means parting ways with so many friends and colleagues, and these are great and very talented people, and this has no reflection on them or their work. This wasn't an easy decision, but ultimately it's one we had to make for the long-term success of Rec Room, i.e. the game is dying. Rec Room has grown far beyond what I could have imagined in over the past 9 years. The credit for that success goes to the teams who built things often thought were impossible, but this decision, the company's position, and our long-term direction are my responsibility. Rec Room is not just a video game. It's a place where millions of people make new friends, express their creativity, and find fun each month. It's a community that's larger than many countries. It's a place where people were able to fight loneliness, isolation during some of the hardest times we've seen. Ensuring Rec Room can thrive for years to come is a heavy responsibility, and sometimes living up to that responsibility requires making difficult decisions. I've always tried to be transparent with all of you on what's happening across the business in good times and bad. So I'd like to outline what we're doing for the people who are impacted, and why I believe this is a necessary now and our plans for the future. So how is Rec Room helping the people that are impacted? Rec Room's grateful to the people who have worked hard to build Rec Room into what it is. These people have been our friends and colleagues for many years, and we recognize this will be a difficult transition for them. We want to ensure that we're giving them all the resources we can to help them for whatever is next for them. We have spoken to all of them directly this morning, and we'll be providing them with 3 months of paid severance and 6 months of healthcare premiums. They'll also receive access to outplacement support, including one-on-one assistance with resume writing, cover letter drafting, career coaching, and job interview prep. This will ensure that they have time and the resources to find what's next. Many of you have asked if you can reach out and offer support, and yes, you absolutely can. So be aware that this is a difficult time for them. They may need some additional time and space. So how did we get here? Well, the market's changed dramatically from where it was in the earlier part of the decade, and the gaming market has slowed. While higher interest rates and more challenging fundraising environment make cash harder to come by, as a result, we've had to change the way we think about Rec Room's financial strategy. In good times, startups look to raise funding every 18 to 24 months, and that's what we did in the early years. In challenging times, the advice was generally to budget for 3+ years of the runaway. When we last raised money, we budgeted for 5+ years because the economic outlook seemed uncertain for late-stage private companies, and it remains uncertain 3 years later. Our current assumption is that we need to become more self-sustaining using our current cash and not plan on any future fundraises. We need to control our own destiny by bringing in more money than we spend. Layoffs are a last resort, and we took as many preventative actions as we could before reducing our team size. Rather than hire externally, we retrained individuals into new disciplines, we cut UA spending, we reduced third-party spending by taking some key systems in-house, we made large reductions to our infrastructure spending, which made it much more efficient to run the Rec Room service. We also launched Rec Room onto Nintendo Switch, the game console with the widest install base in existence, and these changes all improved our financial position. But as our largest spend each month goes to people and payroll, they weren't enough on their own. So what has Rec Room learned, and how did we change moving forward? Nick goes on to say, this is a tough day, and we don't want to do this again. I've learned a lot in this process, and I'm going to make sure I can fix as much as I can based on those learnings. No one can predict the future, but we can learn and improve so we're better prepared for whatever the future throws at us. I've had conversations with many of you about the changes you believe are needed. One theme came forward. We all want to move at startup speed, but the organization and our process is getting in the way. We need to look and feel like a startup again. We need to get back to our roots, and we've taken missteps over the past few years that have pulled us away from their startup process, and we need to fix them now. They're introducing flatter organization, and as Rec Room the product grew, so did the organizational structure. There are too many people splitting time between IC work and management, and this hybrid role creates too many negatives and not enough positives. It creates more layers of management and a wider group of leads that need to buy off on all decisions, and it means fewer IC hours, making them slower and less effective. Moving forward, they're going to create a stronger separation from the IC and the manager role, which basically means you can either be be a great IC or a great manager. You can't try to be both. This will result in flatter org with fewer managers, faster decisions, and more time for ICs to dedicate towards building product. They're also introducing smaller cross-functional teams, and for the past years, they've been organizing across disciplines or functions horizontally. This has advantages, but it requires more communication, process, and managers to coordinate. This is how a big company organizes to reduce duplication of effort and consistency in process. It is not how you organize for speed, it is slowing us down. Moving forward, we're redrawing our organizational structure to be more flatter and more interdisciplinary. Vertical. Teams will be smaller and will contain devs, designer, artists, and they'll be able to operate more autonomously. This is what the early years of Rec Room looked like. And they're also implementing scrappier but more efficient. And too often they've been trying to solve problems by spending their way out. When it gets confronted with an obstacle, often our first instinct was to buy software to solve it. Scale up rather than optimize or hire more people to work around it. In the past few months, as we focused more on cost, we've shifted back to our scrappier roots. When we've taken the scrappier approach, we built better internal tools than anything we could buy. We were forced to optimize our systems by making them better and more resilient, and we spent time simplifying and automating our processes rather than throwing people hours at an optimized workflow. When we create the right conditions, the resourcefulness and inventiveness of our team is incredibly strong. Let's lean into that. So what is next? Well, Rec Room has a very unique product. Rec Room spans 10 platforms from phones to consoles to headsets. It has millions of games where you can shoot, fish, race, roleplay, hang out, take care of monsters, battle a crown, or pass a ticking bomb back and forth. These games are built and enjoyed by millions of players across more than 150 countries each month. But Rec Room has been an underdog from the start. There's this little quote that says, "Gaming startups don't work, and there's no market for VR. You can't port that game to consoles, phones, forget it. It'll never run. UGC gaming is a bad. In-game creation tools will never be powerful enough to build good games." And Nick says that they're still an underdog now. In the past, we overcame underdog odds by staying focused on what matters. Now is the time to focus on a smaller number of high-priority areas that lets us expand who can create, what they can create, and how that drives our business forward. Here are the high-priority areas that they're talking about. First, ensuring everyone can create and will dramatically expand who can create. They're simple enough for anyone to use, they're fast and varied enough to make building fun, and powerful enough to get complex outcomes, worlds, and gameplay. Rooms 2. This is the largest bet we made as a company. Rooms 2 is what gets us to bigger, more complex, more reliable rooms that can run everywhere. It sets us up for breakthroughs on everything from load time to circuits. And lastly, Rec Room Plus. This is a financial engine of the company. Plus subscribers are by far our most engaged players and creators. We need to put more value into the subscription and do a better job of explaining that value so that subscribing is a no-brainer for any serious Rec Room player. And we need to get back to our startup roots and stay focused on what matters. For all of you here, I know this is one of the toughest days we've had as a company, and it will take time for us to regroup and reorganize. The future is always uncertain, but we've made these difficult decisions to ensure that Rec Room is in a stronger position moving forward. Thank you all for your help in building Rec Room into the place where anyone can create games and come together regardless of their age, technical knowledge, financial resources, or geographical location. Let's continue to build. And that was the entire message from Nick, the founder of Rec Room. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. And that was a long read. If I had to say anything right now, I'll believe it when I see it. I hope Rec Room will improve to be better, but we'll just have to wait and see. But to all the people that were laid off, they were some pretty prominent figures inside the Rec Room community that a lot of people respected and stuff like that. But it is all good blood at the end of the day. There is no bad blood, there was no harm or anything like that. Please be respectful to Rec Room and the employees and the people who were Rec Room employees. I wish the best for you. And to give a little update on to, this whole video that I posted with everyone quitting Rec Room, Bothaya, the quest legend as we know him inside of Rec Room, has a channel that's about Gorilla Tag and Animal Company and all other VR games that is rivaling his Rec Room channel right now. You know how long Bo's been on the platform for, streaming and making videos and stuff like that? For a pretty long time. So the fact that he's able to reach this amount of growth with Gorilla Tag and Animal Company is insane. But I can't say it's very surprising, to be honest with you. And let's talk about the good news now. You see it up there? Anyways, we got this weekly rotation, and as you guys can see, it is Mardi Gras themed. We even got a cool little alligator guy too. But as you guys can see, we got some new items. We got a new carnival cake. Nothing too special for this actual weekly rotation. This is how the Rec Center shop is looking like. If you guys are interested in new UGC, here's how that new UGC is looking like. You should see some images on the screen and stuff. Please use your brother's code when you're buying tokens for UGC, please. I don't want to get a job. And this is how our board's looking like. Featured rooms is not looking too good, to be honest honest with you. I'm sure that'll be fine, but we do have Just Simply Bread, a new featured creator if you guys don't remember, and we also have this new message on the bottom of the board that talks about their newest Countdown Club room. We also have some new people on Instagram and some new people on YouTube. Goats. Please watch them and check them out. Now, Rec Room actually came out on their YouTube post talking about adding Isle to Android, but at the moment it actually is no longer there on the YouTube post, so I think they rolled back this decision. Please add it, Rec Room, soon! Now, there were some bugs with Isle on Android and stuff like that. There was a weird texturing bug with the top of one of the skeleton's hat where it turned pink and stuff like that, and for some weird reason, the actual little holotar that's inside that room was all glitched too. Now, I had actually reached 20,000 subscribers on Rec Room recently. If you subscribe to me on Rec Room, I truly do appreciate it. It does mean the world to me, and if you haven't subscribed, no hard feelings or anything. You just better like this video, or I'll be inside your walls. If you don't know, I have channel memberships, and I read them out in every single video. And of course, these people include KobeFan76, Diego, Greengrass VR, Rex, Oreo, Hey, Master, Iron Guy, Beast, Eluxium, Danny, Super Ducky, Zenny, Fiery, The Odd Dove, Zinky, Gutsy, Crypt, Costly Scarab, PFG, Rexo, Angela, Ethan, High Gaming, Mochi, GamerFan76, Lightning, Billy the Egg, Dino Pie, Rec Room, Mikey, Super Luigi, Jimmy, It's All Mine, John Gamer, Jaden, KJ, Spuckly, The Cherry Deefer, Aaron Gamer, Eric, Scoutbot, Amber, Mr. Bucket, Adriana, Cyber Maker, The Hackster, Super Cool Guy, Forbidden Hunter, Glitch, Blue, Mist, Honest, Hype, Creep, Jaden, Rainix, Diego, Locky, Z, Sea-Dog, Juanita, Belinda, Junior, Flame, Spring, Bacony, Item Label, Soapy, Coolman, Toys R Us, Eebster, Snaggy, Noodle HD, Insert Name, FMRF Games, YT, Lux, Bread, Tsunami, Red the Minds, Zane, Senti, Edit, Luna, Russ, Nocturne's Lullaby, Bubba, Ben, Monkey, Devin, Fishy, Outer Bound, J Sleepy, EEF, Ruse, Angry Monkey, Fireman, Lucky Wiz, Handbug Videos, Roro Raggy, Quat, Dragonfire, Kuvu, Chase, Giggles, Grape, Eric OVR, Fizzy VR, The Transport Boy, Cam VR, Valerie, Jess Score, AC, We Yearn for the Minds, The Odd Guy, Big Boy Darius, Trip Animations, Blue Puma, Kyle, Moonmates Media, Nat the Pup, Tom, Steck Storms, Daytrix, Nat, Unlisted, Villas Arts, Nolan, The Dragon Boy, Garlic Bread, It's Ready RR, Dozer, BBB, Burning Owl, Raphael, Netflix9, and of course, Box David. Thank you for showing your constant love and support inside the memberships. I really do appreciate it. And from last video to now, we're now at 138 members. We got slashed, but a lot of those members were gifted and stuff like that, so it doesn't carry on to the next months, and so it's whatever. But I really do appreciate the love thus far, and thank you folks for all the love. Now let's get back to the video. But yes, thank you guys so much for 20,000 subscribers on Rec Room. I really do appreciate it, and I really wish I could do cool things, but I don't really have anything cool planned, so thank you is all. And yeah, anyways though, that's pretty much it for all the actual Rec Room news that we have for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on the message? What are your guys' thoughts on the Isle announcement? And of course, people, I will catch y'all inside the next one. I have more Rec Room videos, more Rec Room news videos about things that have happened soon. My last video, the first of a month little cool music video skit, but the one previous to that was actually about the Widget Watch, Rec Room's new UI that they're going to be coming out with pretty soon to all players. It's a split test right now, if you didn't know, so you don't have it in Rec Room right now, probably, but you should still check out that video, please. Anyways, like, subscribe, do all that crazy stuff, and goodbye.